Macro and markets, inflation is all that matters. The Fed and the ECB hiked rates and repeated that inflation is key. Three things I think. What is a recession? On this one, the GDP printed two negative outputs, but in the US, economic activity has not slowed. And in other news, China tried to build a spy network inside the Fed, even threatened to kidnap a Fed economist. China tried to place a network of informants inside the Federal Reserve System over the course of a decade. And a comment from Swag Trading: whoa, Chinese government can stoop down to any level. Kidnapping an economist? Ha! Do they really think the Fed knows what they are doing? Well, of course the Fed knows what they're doing. I mean, inflation is transitory, right? Wait, what? Hey, ForexMilitia, this is Parsival, and we are going over the calendar for the week of the 1st to the 5th August. August 1st to the 5th, and we're going to do a little look-see over what happened last week and look into this week, see what's actually going on. And last week, of course, the big news here in the U.S., of course, U.S. stuff. All right. Is the rate went from 1.75 to 1.5. All right, the Fed basically raising rates. We got a advanced GDP of minus zero point -0.9, which basically made people believe that we are already in a recession. But the argument against that is that we have not seen a slowdown in economic activity. We have not seen the unemployment market rise, and we still have open jobs. People are still getting jobs. The job market is still pretty much on fire. All right, and then we got the GDP out of CAD, which actually looks like it was pretty decently good because it was supposed to be negative, but it came in up ahead. Alright, so that's pretty much a lot of the news that happened. A CPI came out of the Aussie, and it was pretty much in line, but of course high because it's 1.8, so that's an increase above the rate that it was quarter over quarter. Okay, so this week we have the ISM from the US, we have the cash rate, which the Aussie is basically going to raise by 0.5 basis points. Unemployment from the Kiwi, CPI from the Swissy. Let's see, monetary rate from the pound on Thursday. They are raising from 1.25 to 1.75. And then the unemployment rate from the loonie and the US. We are slated to basically create 250,000 jobs. Okay, that's not a negative number. This is the reason why they don't believe that we're in a recession if we're still creating 250,000 jobs. So that doesn't say recession. Right? People are not losing their jobs. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the charts and see what we can see. Oops. Okay, so here on the dollar basically is long, reducing longs and reducing shorts. So, but the price action is still long with a bit of a retracement, and the dollar is basically falling off of highs. This is basically profit taking. So it should most likely fall all the way down to 103, somewhere around this area. You can see that there is a, I would say, an order block zone. Okay, right here, structure. I'll call it structure. I call it order block zone, and it should basically, we'll see what it basically does. And along with the order block zone, this is a monthly, excuse me, a monthly support line. Resistance becomes support. Okay, and you've got this trend line also there also. All right, on to the US. We have this actually, like it basically is in this wedge, and it popped off of an area that I was waiting for it to get down to. It did not quite get down there, but it looks like it kind of bounced off this here, the 200. So that's a retracement. It actually went back above this area and into an order block zone up in here, which is also above this. This line is the Kijun Sen. That's around a 50% retracement. And so I still see this bearish. This is like a relief rally, and most likely, hopefully, it just stays within this here, and then we're going to see more downside action. We are going into August, September, and October, so those are usually very bearish months. On gold, oh, the other thing is, on here you can see that they're still short. The non-commercials are still short, and they're adding to their shorts and reducing their longs. So that gives us some added weight on my bias. Okay, on gold is long with a heavy reduction to longs and larger to shorts. Okay, but as you can see, this is actually pulling back, and it looks like it's going to pull back to this area up here, which is structure and an order block zone. So we'll see what happens when it reaches this. I had a pretty decent gold trade that actually went pretty well. I'll show you that. Oh no, I had a gold trade that actually went well. Okay, on Bitcoin is slightly short with a reduction to long and a reduction to short. So they're reducing some of their position size. They're taking some gains and taking some losses. But Bitcoin is actually looking like there's a it's rallying a little bit. It's coming off the lows. We've got this area right here, which is kind of like structure right here. And then we've got this up here, which is a trend line. So, of course, we have to see if it goes to, I'll just say 30,000 here. And then up here, this would be like 35,000. So we'll see if it goes that far. On oil. Oil is long, reducing longs and reducing shorts. Okay, as you can see here, oil is basically still long. Right, it's still long. It's above this 200, and it's still in an uptrend. It hasn't really broken below a structure's lowest point. But not even, it wicked, but it didn't break below this point here. So we are still pretty much in a bullish area, and some of my indicators are saying that oil is basically loading up to actually go higher. So on the COT, like I said, it's long. They're reducing longs and shorts, so they're profit taking a bit, and we shall see what actually happens with oil. On the loonie, they are long the CAD, adding to longs and reducing shorts. So with the dollar basically falling and them adding to the shorts, you can see this price action here where the CAD, the loonie, is basically falling, and it fell down to this trend line here, and very possibly it could fall into this wedge here. I don't want to. Okay, so I'm going to leave that just like that is, and I do believe my bias on this is that this will continue to be short on the daily, on the lower time frames. It's going to continue to fall. Okay, so I have a short basis bias on the dollar loonie. All right, on the euro, it is short. They're adding to longs and adding to shorts. So that's like they're creating a spread because they don't actually know exactly what is basically what's going to happen. All right. So, but it is down here at the lowest of lows, and it did retrace a little bit up, but the overall picture is that this is going to continue to be short. There is bullish divergence here, so let's just, I'm going to make a shoot. I'm going to shoot from the hip on this one, and basically they say that it's going to rally back up into structure. There's a balance right here, so it's going to rally back up into structure and catch this, which is called dragon fruit, and catch this, and then continue to fall. Now, the other scenario is it's either here, here, or up here, right? This for me. This is an order block zone, and the higher up, which is right around this monthly resistance, is somewhere up in the of an order block, right in this area up here. All right, that is liquidity. All right, so I'm going to say that I am short-term bearish, long-term bullish on short-term bullish, long-term bearish on the euro, and on the pound they are short, reducing longs and reducing shorts, same thing as with the euro, and once again the same scenario as you can see up in here. This line is a weekly resistance right now, and it hit that, it wicked, it came down off of that, and this is up. It actually came into structure here, this order block zone, and actually wicked it. Now, to see exactly what's going to happen there, my bias is that's a wait and see. I'm going to wait and see what actually happens there. So I don't know if I would actually take any real positions for the long term. Short term, it does look like this could actually retrace somewhat back up into here, which is around 124. And with that, keep it short. We are please support this channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will come back next week and give you some more. Also, please check out the picks of the week. I have that in a separate video these days. And so with that, I will say knowledge is power. Be power hungry and power to the people. And the closest thing to the Holy Grail is following the smart money. That's why we go over the COT. And with that, this is Parsival signing out.